Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about 5 fashion lessons that I learned in my 20s, things that I wish I had known 5 years ago when I turned 20 that would make my fashion journey and finding my personal style a whole lot easier. The journey to finding your personal style can often be very frustrating. It can feel very discouraging, especially when you don't really understand how to build a wardrobe of clothing that you feel confident in, that you want to wear long term, and really suits the aspirational style that you're looking to achieve. I went through a lot of trial and error to figure out exactly the type of clothing that I love to wear and that makes me feel super confident. So I'm here to share these lessons with you and hopefully make your journey to figuring out your personal style a whole lot easier. So let's get into it. So the first lesson that I learned about figuring out your personal style is that you really need to balance your ideal dream style with the reality of your personal lifestyle in order to incorporate that dream style into your daily life and actually be able to dress a way that feels good and that you feel confident in. So when I say this, let's just take me for example. I moved to New York 5 years ago-ish when I turned 21. And my Pinterest board was all very fashionable, classy New York girlies in, long trench coats, nice slacks, high heels, or in the summer, pretty lacy summer dresses and kitten heels. Now, of course, when I saw this on Pinterest, I loved what it looked like, and I, of course, was very attracted to it and was like, oh, I've nailed it. This is exactly what I want to wear, and easy enough, like copy and paste. I can just essentially find those key pieces that this person is wearing and then style them on myself, and you're good to go. Now, everyone knows social media is very misleading, but that girl's lifestyle might look a lot different than mine. She might be a fashion influencer and she is literally just taking content in these outfits and then she might be changing it to something else. I, on the other hand, do a lot of walking and exploring around the city on the weekends, and I still want to look cute doing that, but I can't do that wearing high heels. So I quickly had to learn to take what I'm seeing and what I find attractive and adjust it to my personal lifestyle. So using that same example, that would mean instead of the kitten heels, I'm gonna have to wear some chic white sneakers. And that's okay because I think that still looks very classy. And I was able to find other inspiration where girls might be wearing similar outfits, but just with, a nice Veja or Adidas sneaker. And I settled on that and said, okay, this looks good, I feel good in it, but I'm also able to live my life. I'm able to explore the city, go out with my friends, and not have to deal with foot pain. That's just a very specific example, but this can be applied across the board depending on your dream style and your personal lifestyle. You really have to meld the two in order to be effective with securing that personal style that you feel really good in. So it takes a bit of creativity, and at first it might feel discouraging to realize that you can't wear exactly what a Pinterest girly is wearing, but fashion is exciting in that way that there are so many different combinations and different pieces that you can work into your wardrobe once you find them that can make you feel super confident and cute in what you're wearing. So I think you have to approach your personal style with a very realistic lens, but having that dream look is so important because that is where you're going to get your inspiration and the passion and energy you need to figure out creative ways to curate a style that really works for you. My second tip is likely something you've heard before, but I think is extremely important to reiterate. You do not have to wear what everyone else is wearing. Don't feel like you need to dress a certain way because you're seeing it that is popular online or that where you live, people just tend to dress that way. I completely understand that your environment really informs what you wear. So for example, I went to college in Colorado, and I had a really hard time figuring out my personal style there because the style that was popular in the town that I lived in was athleisure. And, all of the outfits that college girls found popular at the time. And so I really had a difficult time pinpointing what I liked versus what I was just seeing a lot and felt like I should be wearing to be cute and to fit trends. If I could go back, I totally would have started my personal fashion journey a lot earlier if I had taken the time to really sit down and think about what I liked. And it's really easy to look around you and just say okay, this is what I'm seeing a lot, this is what I want to wear. What I would have done if I could go back is and I know you've definitely heard this before, get on Pinterest, because Pinterest is a great platform for really curating a look that you love. And I think when you're in a bubble, maybe in your hometown or your college town, it can be hard to see fashion beyond what is there. So going online, looking for inspiration in, whatever you want to look at, magazines, Pinterest, YouTube, seeing what people are wearing beyond your little bubble is so crucial to really being able to discover things that turn that light bulb on and get you very passionate about experimenting with your clothes. And then secondly, what I would say is so important is just thinking about, with the clothes that you already might have, what do you enjoy wearing? Because I think if I had thought about that a bit more, I would have quickly realized, oh, maybe this isn't my personal style. So when I was in college and I lived in Colorado, I was wearing lots of yoga pants, lots of athleisure wear. And I think if I had really thought about how I felt, I would have realized I'm not 100% happy with what I'm wearing. I might fit in with the people around me, but I don't get that burst of inspiration when I'm dressing in the morning. I'm not excited to take a photo in my outfit, for example. And from there, I could have started to look at Pinterest and sources of inspiration, and I could have begun my personal fashion journey a little bit earlier. So I would say try not to be afraid to kind of get out of that bubble of wherever you are and look for inspiration beyond that place. It is totally okay to dress differently, and if you really do want to find your personal style, I think this is something you have to do, and it can be a slow process. You don't have to, day one, suddenly be wearing a completely different style of outfit. You can incorporate pieces day by day and slowly become comfortable being your dream self, and I think that is so valuable and something that you can start today. So similar to the last point about really being able to sit down and think about what makes you feel good, what makes you happy when you wear it, it is so valuable to be able to pinpoint traits in clothing that you are constantly wearing, because this will enable you to shop smarter and to really, every time you purchase a piece, be purchasing something that you are going to love and use a lot and use for a long time. So I know most girls have had this issue where you go out and you buy something and you think it's super cute in the store and you maybe wear it for half a year, and then suddenly you just get tired of it. And initially you might think, oh, it's just because I've been wearing it for so long, I wear it all the time, and now I'm just tired of it and I want something new. You really have to pick that apart. It's really important and great to be able to identify things that you're wearing a lot. So I think it's a great thing if you're just grabbing it every other day because you feel comfortable in it, you like what it looks like. That doesn't necessarily mean that you should be getting bored of a piece. What I would recommend is, first, figuring out what you like about it. If you're grabbing it every other day and you've worn it so much that you're almost tired of it, it means that there's something about the piece that you really do like, something that you feel comfortable in, confident in, etc. So I think it's important to sit down and really think about, why do I like this piece? For example, I can remember this specific blue sweater that I had in college. It's like a teal color. I wore it all the time. I wore it to death, and after about a year and a half, I got sick of it and I got rid of it. And I will say, looking back, the thing that I loved about that sweater was its shape. It fit really nicely on my body. I loved the big sleeves, I loved the neckline, and I thought it was a very flattering shape. What I didn't like so much about it, or what I think I got tired of, and this is crucial to be able to pinpoint what you like and what you don't like about a piece, was the color. It was this blue teal color. And for me personally, I really had a hard time figuring out which colors I liked and which colors I would get bored of after a certain amount of time. And so being able to do that with a piece of clothing is so valuable because you're able to basically pull knowledge from your existing wardrobe. What traits of clothing do you love? What traits of clothing make you feel confident? What traits of clothing are you comfortable in? And then what traits of clothing do you not like so much? Things that you want to remove from your wardrobe. For me, after a lot of reflection and a lot of experimentation, I realized that my neutrals are pieces that I never wanted to throw out. Things that were neutral colors, so blacks, grays, browns, I tended to hold on to and felt like they were timeless and things that I never got bored of. Things that were colorful, on the other hand, I would get tired of relatively quickly and be donating those things. So it takes a bit of thinking and a bit of reflection, but if you really do that reflection, you will learn what traits of clothing are long lasting for you and what things you kind of cycle through. So I think taking that lens with your current wardrobe is super valuable. You can pull so much knowledge out of what you already have, and that will help inform what you purchase moving forward. I have to say this lesson was a turning point for me because once I figured out the basic traits of clothing that I liked, shopping is so much easier and you just get so much more satisfaction out of your wardrobe. And this doesn't mean that suddenly I was going out and buying way more clothes. It's actually the opposite. I was able to buy less and feel happier with what I had. And I think that that is so valuable when it comes to clothes. You shouldn't have to have a ton of clothes to feel good about what you're wearing. Once you know exactly what you like, you can just get a few key pieces and start there and feel confident from there. Knowing your flattering fit makes everything a whole lot easier. I also think that this goes hand in hand with trends, but when I wasn't super happy with my personal style and I didn't feel confident in my clothes, a lot of it had to do with the way that clothes looked on my body. And it can be really tough at times to pinpoint why you're not feeling confident in something, and that can be so frustrating. But having a knowledge of your body type and what clothing flatters you can change the game. I will say that having a basic understanding of your proportions can be very valuable when creating outfits, but similar to doing a makeup routine, clothing is a way that you can accentuate the features of yourself that you love and feel super confident in what you're wearing. And I love that clothing is really a tool for that. So I'm gonna use myself for example. Crop tops. Crop tops are the bane of my existence personally. Because I am not super confident about my stomach. And so I learned that wearing cropped shirts really emphasizes your stomach if you're not wearing super high-waisted pants. It takes a bit of reflection and also experimentation, because once I realized that, I was like, okay, let's try a non-cropped shirt. I tried a normal white tee, normal length, not cropped, and tucked it into pants, and I just felt much more confident in it. So that's what I adopted, and now I don't have any cropped clothing and all of my shirts are normal length. And personally, that's just something that works for me. On the flip side, I love my legs. I have relatively long legs, and I'm just thinking about the movie Long Legs now and the fashion icon that is long legs. Sorry. Until I really figured out my personal style, I was wearing a lot of tapered and straight leg jeans and pants. And I have relatively large feet as well, so I would be wearing a size 8 sneaker. And I can probably find a photo of this somewhere, but the proportions were just off. For some reason, I hated how it looked, My feet looked huge. My legs looked skinny. Once I figured out that the tapered pant wasn't working for me, I switched and tried a boot cut. And that's like a bit more of a flared leg. And immediately I saw a difference. My legs were elongated. I felt a lot more confident about my hips, and my feet looked a lot smaller in those big shoes. And so I think it's really about understanding the features of yourself that you love and feel really great about and want to show off, and building an outfit and wardrobe around that. Everyone is so different, and so these things will vary completely, but it just takes a little bit of reflection and understanding your body type to be able to put together outfits that proportionally look really good on you. And the final fashion lesson that I learned that has helped me to this very day is to keep it simple. Fashion is so expansive, and there are so many new trends and styles that you can try, and of course you should do that because fashion is fun and it's all about experimenting. But as you start your fashion journey, keep it simple and really focus on mastering the basics. Make sure to establish that foundational wardrobe before you start experimenting with new things. If you learn that you love, like I said, long flared pants, get them in every color. Get a pair of flared blue jeans and a pair of flared black denim and a pair of flared slacks. I did that and I wear those consistently. I feel good in them consistently, and I can style tons and tons of outfits with them. It is so precious to know a certain clothing item that really works for you, makes you feel confident, makes you feel good. And once you have that nugget of knowledge, you should apply it. And having that foundation and understanding of what you really like will make building your wardrobe so much easier. I know that fashion can be great, but it can also be hugely overwhelming. And so having a huge wardrobe isn't always fun. It's not always productive, and it might actually hinder you from developing your personal style and actually incorporating those outfits that you love into the everyday. I think it is so valuable to start simple and stay simple throughout the beginning of your fashion journey. Really build that foundational wardrobe, build that knowledge about what you love to wear, what you feel confident wearing, and then go from there. So those were just a few of the fashion lessons that I learned in my early 20s. I hope that these were helpful and can help you really lock down your personal style, because once you do, it's so empowering and it's so much fun. And at the end of the day, that's what fashion should be. It should be fun, it should be empowering, and it should just make you feel like your best self. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.